Good evening, this is your Psychic LG reporting from the United Kingdom. Is anybody there? Knock once for yes, twice for no. Hello, hello, hello. It is 11:13 p.m. Heading towards the witching hour. We are going to delve deep tonight. We are going to look into the looking glass again. See what's in store. Do something a little bit different tonight. I hope you're all well. It's Boxing Day over here in the UK. Boxing Day evening. And I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. I hope you're all keeping well. Good evening, Wookie Bear. Hiya, Wendy. Hiya, Esma in New York. Oh, we've got Nala here. My little cat. Good evening, everybody. How are yous all doing? Cheryl Ford and Kim and Blondie. Have we gone live on YouTube yet? Good evening. Yes. Greetings on YouTube to Heidi and Christina. Hello there. She's come straight in there to say hi. This is Nala. You going to say Merry Christmas to everybody? Don't knock the stream off. Happy Christmas, everybody. How are you all doing? Yorkshire Cottage Garden. Good evening. Have you had a nice Christmas, everybody? I want to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you all are around the world. Obviously, it's in Australia. It's going to be the morning time. Majority of people who communicate with us, it'll be evening or afternoon. Yeah. Have you had a nice time? Good evening, Katie Green in Scotland. Wisconsin, YouTube. How are you all doing? Blessings in Arizona. Is it warm over there or is it nippy? Good evening in Toronto and Canada to Aprons. Is it Aprons? We've got a kitty cat here. Happy Boxing Day. I don't even know what Boxing Day means, guys. Does anybody know? It's the day after Christmas Day. I just want to know why it's called I want to know why it's called Boxing Day. Does anybody know why? Do you like my horseshoe blouse? Thank you. It's warm in Indiana. I wouldn't say it's particularly cold over here. It's a strange temperature for December. It's foggy in Rhode Island. Blessings in Florida. Hello there, Teddy. How are you doing? And I think Nala wants to say hello. Do you want to say hello? She wants to come and show her botty bum bum, what she normally does. You're being a very good girl. She's been extremely good girl today. Haven't you? Hi in Switzerland. Wait for people to come on. So I'm live on Twitch and I'm live on YouTube. I don't even know if it's Sunday night. I'm losing the time. Oh yes, it's not Sunday night. That was Christmas Eve, wasn't it, where I went multi-streamed. So, yeah, it's Tuesday, isn't it? So I normally do multi-stream. Do you like my blouse? Thank you. I got it for Christmas off my son and daughter-in-law. It's Holland and Cooper. It's like riding shop. So I like horses and stuff like that. Good evening in Denmark. So, we'll wait for people to come on and then for new people coming in on the stream. We've got a very loving kitty cat here who just wants to roll around and show her tummy. Watch my microphone now. We'll wait for people to come on and then we'll do healing prayers for everybody who needs it. Hiya, Izzy in Newcastle. Isn't it strange weather over here, Izzy? Oh, bless you, Susan. Everybody's feeling fed up, aren't they? Hiya, Bjorn. What's it like in Iceland? Is it cold over there? So, yeah, it's just a strange time of year, isn't it? And of course, they're pushing all the sales now on the media, as they normally do. It's all sales, sales, sales. It's just money, 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 isn't it? But what I'm going to do is tonight, I'm going to do prophecies. Not predictions, prophecies. I'm going to go into a channeling state and I'm going to see what I get. A bit of remote viewing, channeling, see who comes through. I have a feeling I'm going to get somebody like, I don't know if anybody's seen it a while back. I don't know if I did it on here or I did it on Twitch. I did a channeling of a super soldier from the future called Jazz. And she came through and she gives some, it'll be in my library on YouTube. I'm sure if I didn't do it on YouTube, I would have clipped it and put it on there. You'd have to look back at my lives in the YouTube library. But I have a feeling I've been getting her wafting in and out because you can't force whoever's coming in. So I may get her or somebody else. And I'm going to do some remote viewing and see what's ahead for the near future and the future for Earth and what's happening for us as humanity. And I'm going to take live Q&A questions as well. And if I can, depending on who I'm channeling, whoever comes through, you can always ask whoever I'm channeling questions. I'll try and do that as well. It'll be hard for us to do, but I'll try and do that. Normally it would work if I had somebody here with us to ask me the questions. So I'll have to do a bit of this. But we'll just go with the flow and we'll see what we can get. But it's a bit like coming to a spiritualist church. I formed this group when I was taken off YouTube a couple of years back. No fault of my own, guys, just because I had predicted some things that they didn't like. Anyway, so I ended up on Twitch. And on Twitch, I formed this community. And Twitch is live channeling, live streaming, sorry. And you can live stream for many hours. It's a gaming channel, but they do have psychics on there and different people. So I formed this beautiful community and it's a bit like a spiritualist church. And then from there, I started multi-streaming when I came back onto YouTube. But as you know, when you're on YouTube, you've got to be careful what you're saying. And it's very strange on here. Yeah. There's been a lot of people censored for things, for saying the truth, or some people not for saying the truth, but some people for saying the truth. Isn't that right, Nola? So, one of the things I got interesting enough, one of the things that I got a strike on, where they were going to take us off YouTube, was for mentioning the word EPSTEIN, and I did a remote viewing on what he'd been up to and what was going on the island and what was going to happen into the future. And obviously they didn't like that, and they said that I was a cyber bully towards a well-known paedophile and criminal, and obviously his accomplice, who also got put into prison. And if you don't know what I'm on about, you'll figure it out. And of course, that's all coming to head again with the list of the Epstein list, should I say? I'm allowed to say that. So it's been very censored since. And every time I come out onto YouTube, not that I get any nasty comments, because I don't, all right? I get a lot of lovely emails from you all. I do lose, I would say, over 50 subscribers every stream. So it just shows that I'm not in it for the money. And when people have said they have been unsubbed, so check, guys, if you're still subbed. When they've said they've been unsubbed, they haven't unsubbed, if you know what I mean. And these are clients that I know as well, and people that I know very well. So I don't know what is going on, but I don't think I'm very well liked from the big guys because I tell the truth. Do you see what I mean? I'm not feeding into the propaganda. I'm not feeding into the lies, what's out there. There's a lot of lies within the truth community. I see it the way it is, and I just give you my visions. And I think that it's because I call a spade a spade. I'm not bought into it all. You know, I haven't took the Kool-Aid. Do you get unsubbed from a lot of channels there, Sunny Luck? So anyway, that's the way it is. So moving forward with YouTube, I don't know which way it's going to go because it's not growing my channel doing these live streams. And I'm extremely busy because I will never, never give up my job of being a psychic because that's my bread and butter. And you can't rely on social media. So I really don't know what I'm going to be doing because I have been burning myself out. But I always will be on Twitch. Yeah. So I just thought I would say that. So I'm readdressing things. I think it was when I got my kidney infection a few weeks before Christmas. I had some sort of download about where my life's going, and we're all having upgrades, and it's happening to everybody. Not, even psychics are not immune to what's happening. Yeah, I've always told the truth there, Michael. Always told the truth. I mean, I called out the January the 6th thing. There's many things that I have, predicted. And it makes you wonder what's going on. So tonight what we're going to do is I'm going to go even deeper than politics. I'm going to remove myself all from politics, and I'm going to scry right deep in out of this atmosphere. And I'm going to reach out to guides, whoever wants to communicate with us, and see what the hell is going on. Oh, thank you. So moving forward with the YouTube channel, I don't know which way it's going to go. It seems to me that people like short and quirky. Obviously, people love the looking glasses. And like I say, I always get good feedback. But like I say, even the looking glasses lose subs. And I know it's not my followers what's doing it. It's as simple as that. No doubt with me calling this out, I'll probably lose thousands of subs. It's just the way it is. I think somebody's sitting there scrutinising us or whatever. And they possibly don't like it because I'm a Christian as well. There'd be many things that they don't like about us. And I don't take sides either. They don't like that because if you look at a lot of psychics out there on YouTube, they're either all for the Democrats or they're all for the Republicans. I'll sit in the middle because I'll refuse to get pulled into it, and I'll just say it the way it is. I may like certain people, but I'll never pull people down at the same time. And I think it pays a lot of people off. Plus, there was a big psyop which happened not long after Trump didn't get in, should I say. And then, of course, you had this truth community which built up. And then they were all saying, he's going to be back next week, he's going to be back next week. And I thought that was the time when I decided to stand on my own. It was just before I was taken down off YouTube. And I decided then to stand on my own. And I got more disliked because I wasn't feeding in to a clique and a cult. And I'll not do that. I will not, I'm a psychic. I'm not somebody who goes along like in a school playground and predicts something because somebody else is saying it. So my responsibility is, whoever's following is that I will tell the truth. And that's what it's about. And I'll stick with this while I'm on here. I'll always do this. So yeah, it's been, you've got within on YouTube, you've got people who are predicting situations, and yet I'll not say names, but they are predicting what's going to happen to Trump or whatever, and they clearly don't like him because you can clearly see that they're on the left side or whatever, but the hatred when they're doing these readings and that. And I just think that that's not really being a psychic, really. And then you've got people who will lick up his arse and think that he's some sort of godly thing what's going to, it's like he's the one what's going to save the world, and I'll not go down that pathway either. You'll just see me the way I speak, the way I find. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard when you're a psychic, because if you see something, you've got to tell it. And some people don't like it if you predict something, and they get arsey with you for predicting that, because they think that you're on that side of whatever's going to happen, and it's not the case. So it's a crazy community being on YouTube, especially in the field that I'm in. And then, of course, you've got the witches. And I want to talk about this tonight. You've got people who, when you're psychic, it doesn't mean that you're holy and thou. So you'll have people who will work on the dark side and who will witch people. So many of the time I have been psychically attacked by speaking my truth. So it's not good. You know what I mean? It's quite a crazy. And then, of course, you've got to watch what you're saying with YouTube and all the elite and that, and how, it's crazy. So you've got to watch what you're saying. You've got to watch your P's and your Q's, and sometimes you've got to speak in code. So when I had the time out, when I was poorly a few weeks back, I had time to reassess things, what's most important. And this message is for everybody out there. It's what's most important is your health and your family. And there is such a thing what's going on YouTube, and it's, what is it called? I can't even think of the word. It's people are getting buzzed. It's all an ego thing on YouTube. It's an ego thing. The more people get likes, the more people get subscribers. They think they're it, and it's not the case. It's not the case of, you could have a tiny baby channel, and I just think that there's something going on behind the scenes as well. So if you are liked by YouTube, I do believe that they will allow your algorithms to go very, very high. But there's an ego thing going on at the minute, and it's massive. So I'm going to see who comes through tonight to talk about all of this. And it's ever since social media. I'd rather be spiritually rich, spirit love speak. Exactly. So somebody put here, Daisy, I was sucked in by a few truthers, and it put me in a bad place. I was already in a bad place at the time caring for my child. Exactly. There's so much crap what's been said out there, and it was never true. And there was so many times I wanted to go live and just say that's not true and call these people out, but I couldn't do it. A, for the fact you could have got psychically attacked. And once I did, I didn't actually come out and call anybody out. I called out a situation, what was happening. And it was all to do with the 17th letter of the alphabet. And I got attacked by 1,000 people all at once on a live show. Well, a live. It was live. It was on YouTube. It was live. So I think that, what's that saying? You can't lead a horse to water. They've got to find it out themselves. It's brutal. So I vowed after that time that I would never touch politics again. But obviously I've slipped back into it because people want to know what's going on. Because I do world predictions, and you can't leave politics out of it. But I am thinking of doing other things on YouTube as well. Astrology is a good one, but it takes the time to put it together. Everything takes the time, you see. I was doing garden talks. I could always go back to doing my garden talks. But there needs to be something which fits into my time schedule, what pleases yous, and also helps me. Because I've got to make a living. But with the looking glasses, that takes me 2 days to put one of them together. Because you're talking, you've got to put it together, you've got to film it, you've got to make it. I've got to sit in trance, I've got to put it all together, and then I've got to render it and everything. Use code words, yeah. I don't even know what the truth community is. I mean, I think it's a silly version of something which was not the truth, Llewellyn. I never labelled it that. That's what they were calling themselves. They became this clique of people who were so holy and thou, who had the latest intel, never mind what psychic was going against them. It was a really choking cult of energy. And that's what was happening. And yeah. And there is some beautiful psychics out on YouTube who I do communicate with, and they'll agree with us on this one. So it's been a hard journey for the ones who are trying to speak the truth. How is your tail wet? What you been doing? She loves the water, you know, my little cat. Laurie Ellington, one of the reasons I'm glad I found you is because I was sick of the biased readings for and against. Yeah. Yeah, well, I want to do paranormal investigations, but I need to have my crew to go with us. And at the minute, there's two of the crew. One's gone to Thailand. He'll be back soon. And the other one's busy working as well. But we're going to get together and we're going to do that. But that is something that I would really want to do. I wear a tinfoil hat. I think I need to start wearing one of them, because you haven't just got the witchcraft, you've also got the negative energies from the energy weapons, what's out there, which I do believe is happening. I'm also a medium, yeah. That's my full-time job. So I have clients who come to my house or I work online. And one thing I can say about YouTube is that it made my business go global. Within a matter of months, people were wanting readings from the States and stuff like that. I was already global, not to the extent I am now. Don't forget, I've been doing this for a long time, since my boys have been little. So, you know, being psychic and doing psychic sort of videos, you know, it can cover many, many different things. Yeah, a lot of people do. Well, all the people will comment, like my World Prediction Starfish, who's just commented there on YouTube. And I get great views. I do get great views, but I do get it messed with. But I also do get unsubbed. And then people come back and say, I haven't unsubbed you. So I really don't know what's going on. You know, it's something where I'm at the point now where I couldn't give two utter shits, to be fair. If I come back on tomorrow and I've got 2 bloody subscribers, I'm not saying it's going to get as bad as that, but because I'm past caring what they're doing, it's a bit like, how do I explain it? I know what they're doing and they know that I know, but there's nothing I can do about it, because it's not my followers what's doing it. I mean, it might be the odd one, you know what I mean? The ones who are too far gone and don't want to hear the truth. But the majority of people, I can honestly say, hand on heart, that I have more fans than I have haters. Do you know what I mean? But Twitch was the best thing what happened, and it kept us going. And I feel with Twitch that you can say what you, within reason, it's a lot more relaxed. It's like a little family. Oh, thank you, Tina. So yeah, the message is today that even psychics go through it. And of course, I've got my own life, which I've talked about before. You know, I've got my mum and dad who are elderly. My dad's got dementia. My mother's brokenhearted because I lost my brother 2 years ago. Suddenly, it was awful. And we're still grieving over it. I don't think I'll ever get over it. I was very close to my Paul. Just talking about it chokes us up. So being a medium, God, if you could see this lassie now. I'm going to quickly take a photograph. Let you see this, because I can't turn it around because of the equipment. 2 minutes. She is hilarious. Nala. Oh, she's jumped out. She was sitting in the pan on top of the fridge freezer. And then I've got my youngest son who has had problems and is autistic spectrum. So I do have a lot on, and of course my family comes first. So, you know, it's like trying to juggle that with everything else. And sometimes that's when I go quiet. It's because I'm too busy. And I was extremely busy before Christmas. It was the rush before Christmas. It really, really was. Oh, thank you, Chrissy. So I think it's nice to be honest as well. And I think this is moving forward into 2024. I think you're going to find a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people who are going to be more raw and more real. And I always say it's like just coming into my back kitchen and having a coffee with us. Yes, he's spectrum. But he also had a problem with a drug problem. And we got him off the street drugs, but then it left him very poorly. And then I had to fight pharmaceutical because there's no help within mental health. What they do is somebody who's got a street drug problem, then they'll try and replace that with big pharma. So I've tried to get the help for him without that. And it's been she's just chucked something on the floor on top of the fridge. So it's going down the alternative routes and looking into diet and stuff like that. But he's getting there. But he's very vulnerable. So yeah, and I've talked about this many times. There's so much. It's a massive thing with mental health. There's no help. There's literally, if you go into mental health in the UK alone, you've got the NHS. You know, if somebody has a meltdown, it's not just street drugs. It could be prescription drugs. It could be anybody who's just had a breakdown. So what they do is they whip you into hospital and then fill you full of drugs and then send you home. Yeah. So it's money what talks, and it's possibly the same in the States as well. And I like to know where all our tax money is going, and you know, why is there not more help being given for mental health? Your son's on the spectrum too? So it's 24/7. Yeah. So sometimes you just have to have some self-love and take some time back. And that's what I've been doing. Yeah, the tax money is going to the Ukraine and probably other countries. So there's Chrissy on here, and she's a former therapist, and she agrees as well. So, and no doubt, I don't know what's going on in the rest of the world in other countries, like what's like in Australia and other places, in Canada and that. Oh, Nola is very busy tonight. But on a happy note, I've had the cats out on leads, harnesses, taking my cat for a walk on Christmas Day. And they really enjoyed it. Just around the garden. And Nola was trying to jump up the tree. So I'm going to keep doing that. So they like the harnesses. They didn't like them to start with, but I got them on and I got them fitted into them. Zizi's sleeping at the minute. So I've got another cat who's all black. Looks like a witch's cat. She's adorable. When I went to get Nola, the father was a Bengal. So she's got the Bengal. She's got the spots on. And the mother was a black cat called Winnie. She's beautiful. And she had all black kittens and then Nola. So Nola was the only one what took on the trait of the Bengal, the father. And they all had homes, and little Zizi was left on her own. And I couldn't leave her because Nola and Zizi had teamed up together and they were sleeping together. So that's how I ended up with Zizi as well. And she's so loving. But she's a lot more petite and more ladylike. Nola's like a typical Bengal, you know. She's got huge paws. She's a big girl. And she just gets up to mischief all the time. Zizi's very spiritual. And when I've had clients come to the house, she sits and stares at them. There was a couple what came to the house on Christmas Eve.
it was the day before Christmas Eve. They came for a reading, good clients of mine. And he walked down the path and he forgot that I'd just got cats. And he said Zizi was staring at him through the window, sitting on a tree thing. And he said she shapeshifted, looked like she shapeshifted. She's like Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She's so funny. So, love son, I was on antidepressants for 20 years. And I came off them, crashed 5 years ago. And I've never been right since. The doctors didn't tell me what you can not just stop them. Needless to say, I have nerve, stomach and mental health issues. They're very evil things, and if you don't come off them properly. I know there used to be, my mother's written a book actually, but I don't believe it's in print anymore, and it's called Prisoner on Prescription by Heather Jones, because my mother's an author. And that was her first book. And at the time when she came off Valium, which they were pushing a lot in the 70s, she went to a self-help group over here in Newcastle called Come Off It. And it was run by a marvellous professor called Professor Heather Ashton. God rest her soul, she's not here now. And she was against all these big pharmas like the benzos and all of that. And how the doctors are legalised drug pushers, basically, by overprescribing. And you can't just stop them like that, because you're going to cold turkey and it's really, really bad. You've got to be weaned off them. And apparently, if I can remember rightly, it's according to this doctor, professor, it's harder to come off Valium than it is to come off heroin. And it can actually give you a heart attack. So you've got to be very careful when you've got to be weaned off them, and find, if you're lucky, if you can find a good doctor or a therapist to help you. So it's a big, massive problem, and hardly anybody ever talks about it. And they carry on. All these big pharma companies just pumping them out, making them, you know. Yes, in small doses, it can help. Say, like if you've had a shock. But anything after a week, you can get addicted to these things. Do you know what I mean? And there's very few doctors out there, isn't there, which are good. And then, of course, everything what happened, the hoo-ha over a couple of years ago with everything what happened with the virus, then it just went very separated, didn't it? And you found a lot of these doctors had to go along with everything what was being said. And some were too frightened to say anything in case they lost their jobs. Can anybody remember on the news in the UK when we had there was a doctor in the midst of it all in the COVID epidemic, apparently, and he was emergency doctor, and he refused to get it. He was going on about, you know, that he would rather build on his immune system. And they were trying to belittle him on the BBC and everything, but he stood up for himself. And there's not many of them who would do that. So it's the drug industry, the sex industry and crime industry, exactly. And it's all part of the corporations. It's very, very evil out there. And I think it's got a lot to do with modern society as well. And I've talked about this before on my past podcasts where, you know, back when my nana was a young girl and my grandma, when they were young women in the 40s and that, you know, in the wartime, you know, there was a death in the street, there was a struggle, if anybody lost a baby, anything, the doors were open, the neighbours would go round and, you know, put the kettle on, pour the sherry out. It's not like that now, because everybody's rushing around having to go to work. You know, young couples now, you know, normally in the UK alone, the pair of them have to work to cover a mortgage and pay the bills. You know, it's hard for the woman to stay at home now and be that mother they want to be. And, you know, inflation's happened and everything's just going through the roof. And it was, so people are under pressure, and this is how they get anxiety. So when you're grieving, you're going to grieve. Nothing can take that away. So if you take something which blocks that, eventually it has to come out. Does that make sense? With me being a shaming practitioner, I treat people, and I do all sorts of things like soul retrieval and that. But there'll be times when people are so drugged up, there's not much you can do for them. And I know it sounds really awful, because it won't come out if you're blocked in with all that drugs, what's blocking it in. It's about well body, well mind, well soul. So we're living in times, I do believe, where it's so biblical, because we've become so ascended and so sensitive, and it's about us speaking our truth into 2024. That's what it's about. And it's about helping each other, finding that Christian within we, being kind, understanding. Because there's such a divide now. And there's so much bitterness out there. Helen on YouTube. My son got off morphine for his spinal pain with cannabis oil. You can go down the natural routes, yeah. So I just think it's about, there's going to be a rise. I definitely predict there's going to be a massive rise with natural medicines, which is on the rise now, but more so into the near future. But that's great that he's done that. I'm just reading some of your comments here. Spell casting works. Well, it's what works for you, really, isn't it? And I think that everything's frequency, everything's energy. Positive thinking helps. But sometimes people need a bit of extra help. Hiya there, Debbie. Merry Christmas, sweetie. Some people can only find happiness in a pill. Yeah. But we need to go back to them good old days, don't we? Talking about things and helping each other. How you been? I was tied to the kitchen sink on Christmas Day. My God. It was like Father Ted in here. I was Father Ted. Adam was Father Dougal. And my dad was Father Jack. If anybody doesn't know what I'm going on about, you have to watch Father Ted. It was like a bloody madhouse in here. Yeah, I've heard CBD oil is good. I've never tried it. I do like frequency music. I'm very much into my salt baths and my aromatherapy oils. But I just think that talking's good, if you can find a good therapist. Or a lot of my jobs, like some people just want the reassurance. So it's a bit like I'm a therapist. But I'm giving you my psychic take on it. If somebody books in for a reading, I do get regulars what come back to us. So I'm a bit like their therapist. There'll probably be some in the audience now that would agree who do come and see us. But I think that, I was thinking about it, it's like, if you go back to the turn of the century, psychics were around, because my great nana did the readings, but it was different then. It was all hush hush. And people used to knock at the door, like a certain knock, for our reading, and she would scurry them into the back kitchen. But she did all sorts. She'd laid people out. She was the midwife. You know, she did everything in this street. She was a great baker. She was lovely. I'll find a picture and I'll show you. And she did the readings. And what was I going to say? But she, back then, there wasn't as many psychics as there is now, because people are turning to psychics. People are turning for the help because people don't have the time to be spiritual. It's like when I was a kid, growing up in my street, come New Year's Eve, everybody in the street, this was in the UK alone, I don't know what it was like anywhere else, everybody would have a house party and everybody's door would be open in the street. So we would go around from house to house and wish everybody Happy New Year. So you went into someone's house and they'd have like a spread on and you do a bit of dancing and laughing and that, you go on to the next house. And it was jolly and it was nice. You don't get that now. I've never seen that now. Is any Brits in the audience tonight would agree? Or was it like that in the US? What does castor oil do in your navel? My God, what does that do? Sometimes these old wife things work, don't they? So yeah, it's all different now, do you know what I mean? And traditional meal times, you know, just people are like, a lot of people watch the television now, or they'll eat their meal in front of the television instead of sitting as a family around the table. These things are important. They're very, very important. In modern day living, in stress, and men struggle, you know, because a man's supposed to be a man. Oh yes, Barbara O'Neill. Yes, I do follow her. Men struggle, and it seems to be more on the rise with men with suicide. This needs to be talked about as well, than women. And it's got something to do with dopamine in the brain, or I don't know if it's the hormones or drop, and it can affect them more. But men have trouble. They need to talk more about it, you know, because it's the way they're built, you know, and they need to open their heart and talk about it more. And I just think there's a massive rise on all of this. I've noticed as a medium the amount of suicides that people come to us with, and it's horrendous. So let's start. Let's bring in the angels in my guides, and then we are going to just go with it. Welcome to Underground, our little spiritual church. Let me go drink a coffee. Oh, God bless you, Mystery. Mystery's just put here in the audience on Twitch. I hardly sit at the table to eat my meals since the passing of my late partner. Can't bear to sit at the table for 6. Oh, bless you. Yeah, men feel embarrassed about the failure and all of that, isn't it? So men need the help as well. And anybody who tries to come out to give men help, they get ridiculed. Some people in this audience might not like him, but you had Andrew Tate? He was empowering men. You know, I've known people who've done his courses and women, and it's really helped them, empowering them, you know, finding that, building on that Fred Flintstones to make them feel stronger. But also, it was mental stuff he was doing for them as well, which he still does, I believe. So there's just, you know, if you get caught up in that politics, you get caught up in that being different. You know, if they don't like it, this is what they do. Oh, thank you, Chrissy. So this keeps me going as well, because for people who've just recently come in on the stream, like I'm not so sure about my future on YouTube or which way it's going to go. But then when I get these beautiful messages, it just warms my heart. I think, oh my God, I can't stop doing it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, we do when I stream on Twitch, it's long streams. And it's just the way it is. It's not like YouTube, you know, you could go viral with a minute video on YouTube, because it's attention deficit, isn't it? But here, and TikTok's the same. But on Twitch, it's like the longer you stream, the more you make, and the better it is. It's a different setup. I don't know how it works. Mind you, I've never been able to understand how you could do a video and get so much out within a minute. It's just impossible. Oh, I'm so sorry, Carolyn. I'm so sorry your Bob passed. Blessings to Carolyn. God love him. Shungite. Shungite. Yeah. Okay. Let's start. May peace be with you all. I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel. I ask my faithful spirit guides, Jed, White Buffalo, Running Star, Lady Direwolf, A2I, and Ra, to come forth to give us healing, protection and prayers for healing for everybody in this audience tonight. This is timeless, by the way. If you need healing, write your name in the comments section and you will receive healing in the stream or afterwards in the comments section. For any persons, animals, any situation, you will receive that healing, protection and prayers. I ask anybody to come forth with two answers tonight from the spirit world, the angel realm, the animal kingdom, the fairy elementals, and any star people on world, off world, from spirit world or a live telecommunication, to give us two answers tonight. Also, anybody who is suffering in the audience with grief, that you will receive the healing tonight and the help. Bless you all. This circle of light is formed with love and light, love and light, love and light. Amen. Oh, that's nice, me. And of course your animals as well. Animals receive the healing as well. Okie dokie. Let's get ready to rumble. So, I think I'm going to shut my eyes and I'm just going to go with visions and take it from there. But yeah, it's just a strange time we're living in, guys. And there's a definite shift happening with human consciousness. It's been happening for a while, but there's going to be a massive shift into 2024 and a bigger divide. That's what I feel what's going to happen. And crazy events to take place, massive crazy events. And some of these things aren't going to be very nice, but it's also going to change society. And I talked about this in my last stream. So where something might not be nice, it might be that even above the ladder of the Illuminati ladder, you've got the good guys and the bad guys working together. This is what I feel. And even they will allow that. They want a situation just so they can use an excuse to bring something in, like a new technology or whatever. Nothing is as black and white as it looks. And I question everything. I even question if we are in 2023 still. Because we only know what we're being told. And so tonight I thought I'm going to do some channeling. And I'm just going to go row in and see what I can get. But we are going to become so spiritual. And I would say 10 years from now, I would say 60 to 70% of planet Earth, we will be telepathic. To whatever level you're going to be. So telepathic means that we are going to become more empathic and feel people's energies. So not to get triggered, we have to do the inner work, and it's easier said than done. Here we've got the other one. Now this is Fairy Pose, who normally knocks off the stream. This is little Zizi, aren't you? My little raving beauty. Say hello. You've been such a good girl, haven't you? You're going to be a good girl tonight. Eh? I know you're such a good girl. This is little Zizi. Say hello to the ladies and gentlemen. She's completely black, guys. But when she opens her eyes, she's got beautiful orange eyes. And they're very unusual. She's got like a white trim. Looks like she's got white eyeliner around her eyes. Exquisite. Completely black. And she seems that she's getting older. She's getting darker and more shiny. So I'm a big lover of black cats. Princess Zizi, yeah. Well, her full name's Zella, but she doesn't like Zella. So we call her Zizi. Yeah, she's the sound engineer. Can you remember? I'm laughing because it was a few weeks ago on Twitch. It was a Sunday night. I was on Twitch and ZZ decided to be the sound engineer and turn the bloody sound off. So, you know, she always comes in when I'm talking about Trump. She's just sort of like, has to come in and have a little nib. Johnny, my black stray kitty is getting closer to coming to my hand. Oh, that's so lovely, Johnny. Yeah, a lot of people are allergic to cats. Sometimes I think it's certain cats or the scent, what comes off them, or the fur, just depends, doesn't it? But I'm severely allergic to Persian cats, where I go into an asthma sort of attack. You know, I've been to houses when I've done house parties in the past and I've had to walk out if they've got Persian cats. But any other cat I'm fine with, but it's the Persian cats. So I don't know if it's the fluff or what. I really don't know. Okie dokie. I'm going to shut my eyes. And I'm going to see what comes in. May peace be with you all.
How'd you like my blouse? I've got a lovely jacket as well, a posh hacking like riding jacket. It's from the riding shop.
Okay. Okay. I'm just going to go with it, right? So I'm seeing purple. I'm going to dim the lights, okay? Let's make this authentic. I'm going to dim the lights. Give us 2 minutes. Okay. I've got jodhpurs on as well, guys. I think I was going to jump on a horse and go riding like high chaparral away. Okay. Normally I put sunglasses on when I'm doing remote viewing, so let's go the full hog. My good God, if you knew what was in my handbag. It's shocking, guys, what's in my handbag. I've got a bin bag. I've got envelopes. What the blinking? I've got barbecue sauce from McDonald's. God knows how long that's been there for. Sweet chili sauce. What else have I got? I think I need to sort my handbag out, guys. What am I doing with a light bulb? I've got a light bulb in my handbag. It's a very messy bag. Dearie me. The rest is just lipsticks and that. Yes, I need to sort this. I need to sort this handbag out. I don't know why I've got a screwdriver in here and a plug. God almighty. But I suppose you can't be a light bulb in my handbag. That's so funny. Anyway, I think I need to sort my handbag out. That's something else I've been doing. I've been decluttering the house. And I got, just before Christmas, I went through my wardrobes and I was ruthless. Ruthless I was. And I got rid of a lot of clothes that weren't fitting, which I wouldn't wear anymore. And I had a huge box. It was massive. And I filled it all up. And I was going to take it to the charity shop. But I've given it to somebody who really needs it. So that went. And I've just been going around decluttering, and I think it makes you feel better when you do stuff like that. It sort of like makes you soul lighter because you're making room. But I need to sort that handbag out. That's one thing I haven't done. Okay. I've got a spanner in there as well. Right. Now, I know I look a little bit like a fly, but hey ho, it helps us to see the visions. Now we've got the cat coming in around again. So you go away. You go and play with the ball. Sissy, don't disconnect that. Go and play with that, baby. There you go.
Okay.
Right, I'm seeing purple. I'm getting a connection. You've got to wait for it to come in. Right, I'm getting purple and silver and gold, and I believe that's definitely connected with Archangel Michael. It's that energy what's coming in. This being's coming forward, and she looks very like off Lord of the Rings. She's got like elven ears. She's just smiling. She's got like blondish hair. It's actually white hair she's got. Don't disconnect that. Either being naughty about this. I've dimmed the lights for guys who've just come on, so... Sorry, 2 minutes. Naughty. Naughty, no, go there. Be a good girl. Play with that. Play with that. You like playing with jewellery. There you go. Play with that bracelet. Right. Let's see who I'm getting. Right, it's starting to go misty. I've got Jed coming in. Hello there, Jed. Oh, we've got Zatchar. Zatchar, little Zatchar. Good evening, Zatchar. Right, so anybody who doesn't know who Zatchar is, he's an insecticide being. I work with him. I do quantum healing with clients. We do the Akashic records. He's a funny little guy. He looks a bit like Jeremy Cricket. That's how he comes through in his humanoid self, but in his real self, he'll come through as an insect, as a big lotus thing. But he's a very clever scientist, and it's like he's coming in there, but we've got mystical people coming in behind him. What is he saying? I'm going to do some channeling here, guys, and I'll probably talk in his language and then translate. Right. Okay. He says that the numbers are counting down and time is running out. There has been a change in the timelines. You listening to this? Change in the timelines. He's right. Sorry, he's so funny. Right, he's saying, listen carefully. He gets annoyed with this sometimes. Okay, listen carefully to what he has to say. There is going to be a massive wave of upgrading coming in for human consciousness, and it will happen. And he's saying into the next solar eclipse. But he's also given us there's going to be a massive change in weather between February, March and April, and world events that will take place. There will be 3 world events, one after the other. He says that we are all the hybrids. It does not mean that our ancestors have been aliens like your grandma or your granddad. He says everybody on this planet is hybrid, going back to a certain mammal, animal or species or being. And as we start to shift in our human consciousness, this will change our codings in our body. And this brings us back to square one of who we really are. Now, this will cause problems if we do not take care of our bodies. So we need to try to eat clean, because we will have a shift and it will have to come out like a spot. So do not be alarmed if your taste buds, is that right, Zatchar? Your taste buds will change. Many of you will want to start eating different foods, and you have to just go with it. There is a true saying, eat what you fancy, but in moderation. So when you fancy something, it is your body craving that you need something within that food substance. Something that you need within that food substance, okay? So say like if you are craving liver, you are needing iron. Do you see what I mean? But there is a problem with sugar on this planet. Because we have had the false sugar, it has knocked our DNA. So if you can try to have more organic honeys or natural fruit is in your diet, and he understands that it is expensive, but try to eat less sugar, white sugar. Some of you are carnivorous, and some of you are plant eaters, and some of you are both. So there is different species, not just in the human race, there is different species across the galaxy. So somebody who could be Palladian, that is just their race, like your race is human. Okay? But it goes beyond, because that Palladian may be a bird species or a mammal, a cow, like a mammal. Some of you are from the aquatic. Some of you are from the bird species. So the bird species would need more seeds and fruit in their diet. The dolphin and whale DNA will need more fish and greens in their diet, because that's an algae and seaweed, green or fish. So this does not mean that 1,000 years ago that you came from a dolphin. It does not mean that. We are talking about time begun with cells, where your cells have originated from within your family lineage. This has nothing to do with your soul. Your soul is separate. Your soul could be a Palladian, but the Palladian, your soul could be an earth angel, should I say, So your soul is different to what you are harnessing is your earth suit. So your blood and veins and your organs will thrive if it is taken on the heritage of that DNA. So there is different categories. When Zatchar does the healing through me on clients, he checks your DNA to see what would match with the materials that he would use, the quantum materials and the energies that he would use, which would harmonize your cells. He gets annoyed with earth doctors, but he also understands and forgives them. But not so much earth doctors, the system which is ruling your planet, because it's about greed and money. They should have all been out now. Back in 1954, this should have been brought to the surface. Our people came to your planet. They were ordered to leave by the Pentagon. They were told they were not ready. Earthlings were not ready. He's going to try and talk in English. Right. So, if an earth doctor is doing a heart transplant on an earthling, sometimes they may use pig skin. He says this is barbaric because you have to match that DNA of that material, what goes in to that human body. And then he's talking about the plastic and the material that they are using to replace kneecaps or whatever valves does not always match with the DNA. And this is why sometimes if somebody has a transplant, it can reject because they are only matching on their earth tests. They are not matching on the actual humanoid. For this to come out, it would give disclosure of who we really are. It is a physics that we do not understand that they want to teach. So say, for example, we have Miss Brown, and he was doing a test on Miss Brown because she needed a knee replacement. So Zatchar would go in and he would check her DNA, and then he would decide, he would look and he would see that she was whale and dolphin DNA. So then they have the material to match that DNA with Miss Brown to then grow her limb or grow her kneecap. We have also developed this within a quantum physics energy field, and this is where the med beds come in and the different technology what is out there. They have held these back for a long time. So what he does is, and he does this through other mediums as well, and he has other fellow friends who also come through channelers, that they work in a quantum energy field without even physically touching the client, the patient. So it is when you get to a certain degree of consciousness, you can use that channeler as a vessel to then do the psychic operation. He is saying that we are all the hybrids. So what he is also suggesting is that it is for us to look down the alternative routes and go with what you feel. You know your body. If you feel like you are a meat eater, or if you are a grain eater, you will know what you feel well eating. Everybody, as you start to ascend, you will start to get to know your body more. There is tests on earth which do work. The intolerance tests, the tests where you can find out different foods, and if you cannot afford the intolerance tests, they're not expensive, you can go down eliminating certain foods out of your diet and then see if your health improves. It takes time, but it is a build-up that we have within our DNA, and that the substances and the toxins that they have been put in the food substances that we need to also get rid of in order for pure ascension. You say not everybody will be pure. That is impossible. but to the fitness of what you need, what makes you comfortable. So once you start to detox, you start to get rid of old wounds, and then it brings up ancestral roots. So then we start to not only heal ourselves, we start to heal our ancestral lineage. So say, for example, your grandmother had been abused. You will have to go through something to heal that, to shut that, to then it releases it, because we are all at one. There is no ending. You only go to what you feel comfortable with. Achita, I will tell you this. There is no ending, but you have to go to what you are comfortable with. There is many who have gone too far, and it has left them unbalanced. Remember, you are spirit beings living human existence, and you have to be that being on earth. And it can be very dense, so you must keep grounded. To keep grounded, I recommend obsidian. I recommend being around nature. I recommend that you work at your lower chakras and find your passion. Music helps. Music is the key. It is a frequency, but you find the right music that uplifts your soul, because you are all working on different frequencies. We are all different, but the same. So, for example, I am an insecticide being, but I have a bird-like DNA. Do you understand what I am saying? So my diet consists of seeds, grains, and fruit. I do eat some being insects, which are not from Earth, but very little. We have become so far advanced that we do not have illnesses. It is about your diet, Earthlings, for ascension and well-being. And if you knew how deep this goes, and if this was all out in the open, mankind would not need doctors. It is all about control. Everything is about control and greed. But you are not here to get upset about this. I do not want you to be mad or upset. I am informing you that you take control. I feel many of you in the audience tonight need fruit and berries and struggle with your blood sugars. This is a common human problem, because you have been up against the industry of the sugar industry. What I will tell you is that you just readdress your diet. Do not cut it out completely, because you will go through withdrawal. Wean yourself. Try to eat in moderation. For the ones who are carnivorous, there will be great changes to take place on your planet very soon, and they will try to ban the meat. They will try everything. What I recommend that you try is to try to eat your meat clean from the farmers' markets, the smaller places. You're going into the supermarkets, you have to be careful of what they are putting in the meat substances. There is great change to come onto your planet very soon, and plastic will be removed. And this is a good thing. It is a good thing. Because it has been going into your food chain, which has been causing cancers and many different autoimmune diseases. Do not worry when you get triggered. You are getting not just triggered from your own ideals. This is also will be triggering from your past lineages. If it gets too much, just count to 10 and walk away. Do you not feel and see that we have also gone through what you have gone through? We are already here. We are working through channelers. We are working through many of you. We are no different. We may look different, but our ancestors went through what you went through. We broke away. Just because we have been born onto a different rock does not mean we are alien. We are not alien. The blue bird is rising. Listen carefully. The blue bird is rising. It is your right, your human right, to eat what you need, to feed your body what you need. They will stop the fruits, they will stop the vegetables. You need vitamin C, you need to stock up on vitamin C. You need to try to grow your own vegetables. They will imply, bring in many laws into the next couple of lunar months ahead of you. To try to stop, to restrict your diet. Take your power back. This is your right. There will be an uprising within your communities. I will say this. What has breathed, what has grown from the ground, will not make you sick. I will say this again. What is breathed on land or in water, or is grown from the ground or your water, will not make you sick. It is a transition. The food industry will change into 2024, 2025. Even though you are not in that time zone. Ha, 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 ha. It is just a number. You are far more into the future than you really know. Everything is controlled by numbers. Once you start to ascend, you will find your mates. You will find your soul family. This is so important for human awareness because you are tribal. And believe it or not, my ancestral heritage was very tribal. There is tribal beings across your galaxy and beyond. There is at least 10 species of extraterrestrials walking amongst you now. Some are masked and some are already looking like you. Do not be afraid. As the matrix starts to break and you start to ascend, you will start to see this. You will start to recognize that someone is different. Not by your eyes, you will feel, but not to be afraid. It has always been there, just you have never noticed. We question it now. That's what you are doing. You are questioning it now. The new children coming onto earth are ready for this new earth. And a lot of these children have been born from the violet indigo children, who are the second phase of the earth volunteers, the great masters of the astral travel. The astral travel masters. The rights. They will be all about rights, your younger generation. They will not put up with this nonsense. Everything will be pure. They will demand foods, medicine. There will be many questions, and this is good. It is not about your leaders. It is about you as the people who will implement and put in the new ideas onto earth. You are the creators. Take back your power. That is what you will be doing into 2024. So as the crazy events in this movie start to escalate, have faith knowing that it is your time to look within, to live your true path, to live your passion. Be who you need to be. We are all different. Some of you are healers, inventors, creators. You are all here to do your bit while you are living on this planet. And many of you, maybe me, like me, just because you are wearing a humanoid suit does not mean your soul is human. God created us all in his own image. We are all the same. There is a test, a great test happening on your planet right now, and it is right underneath your noses. Not to fall into the divide. That's what it's all about, the divide. God did not want you all to think the same, because he gave you free will. And this is how all different religions took place on your planet. But I can assure you, we all go back to source. You are in school, and some of you, your next life will not be on earth. You came down, some of you, for many different reasons. Some of you have come back to inform and to pass on their messages to your star friends and your family. I do not mean by telephone, I mean by energies. So think on thought, What is thought? When you think something, are you thinking it, or is it being put into your mind? But you can also operate that by sending it to the sender or the receiver. We are all telephones. So when you have an idea, that idea may be coming from your star friends, your angels, to put that onto earth. Then you may have an idea or think something as a thought, and then that thought will be going back to the sender. You are all agents, different types of agents. Some of you have come back here to change the frequency, just to be and to live in the here and the now. And you are called the earth energy balancers. And that plays an important part. Some of you have come back to change the system. Within the energy balances, there is givers and receivers. And you will be drawn to certain givers and certain receivers. But this message is for the energy balancers on Earth right now, that you must not get triggered by what is to come. You knew this when you came to this planet, that there would be great change. You knew this. You knew that we would be born into a cesspit of lies and deceit, and that we would have to navigate through the storm to change the system. When it all kicks off, just do not feed into it. And this goes for politics. This goes for war. It is all being orchestrated by the Dark Ones. My name is Zatchar. I am here as your great teacher. Some of you who are in this audience tonight may be looking for your soulmate. You are at a crucial point on Earth where your soulmate has to resonate with you as you start to ascend, because as your coding start to change, you are then becoming like that Palladian being. It is hard. Why do you think that previous relationships did not work for you? Because they were not connected to your DNA match, to your frequency match. And sometimes they just ghost you because they are being controlled. There is many on Earth being controlled. Like 1 minute you have your boyfriend or your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, and the next thing they are not there. Their soul is different. With your right half, they will not be controlled. So to all Earth angels on planet Earth right now, there is hope. If you want love, you will find love. And this is for your friendships as well. When you are so ascended, and you can't get triggered, you can then not get attachments. Because attachments cause entity attachments, holes in your aura. And many are walking around on this planet who are more than one person. They may have 10, 20, 30 beings attached to their souls. And I go around and I want to chop them, take them away. Suckers, suckers. You have to protect your soul, your soul. The Catholic Church on earth knows this. It is labelled as possession. It is not like in the movies, where someone's lying, foaming at the mouth. But many are possessed attachments. Forgive these ones in media. They have many holes, and some are being used as puppets. Many have holes. But is it there? It is their spiritual ascension journey to release that, not yours. You will notice this as you start to ascend. Many of you will feel and see this now, that some people are whole and some people are not. It is okay. They're not devils that can jump on you. You can only invite them in if you let them. Many have attachments. 2 minutes, guys. Great change to take place. It's a great way. You will feel great change. We cannot come in from starships in the sky and save you. It is up to you to save yourself. We can guide you. We do not always channel through you on earth. Some of you are channeling through us on other planets, like this receiver now. It is not an ego thing. It's when you realize where you have come from and what you can do. We are all here as individuals to do our bit for Earth. I have messaged and channeled through many people on your planet throughout the centuries. Maybe not always like this. Through books, through songs, through art. But there is great change now. It is the mysterious time on earth. It is the time to expect the unexpected. Everything on earth has been manipulated and made to feel not good. When you are going into a relationship with somebody, it is meant to be sacred, not cheap. That is what the industry on your planet has done. Used all humanity's talents and capabilities against them. The meat industry has to change. There is always a dark side to this, and there is a good side. Like I said before, and I have said this many times, there is no such thing as some put as black hats, white hats. Above the controllers. We all have different views, but we are all working towards cleaning up your planet. And we act as channelers through different individual people, even people within politics. The meat industry has to change, because what has been taking place on your planet is not good. And I am not just talking about pesticides. I am not just talking about dyes and substances what should not be in your food. I am talking about the kind of meat it really is. The network, the dark network, will change. It will fall. But know that every restriction brings light. You have to sometimes go through the darkness to bring the light in. So what I suggest to do, if you are a carnivorous, to try to eat as organic as possible, or where you are buying it from, make it sure it's local farmers. So you know what it is, if you know what I mean. Your money will change on Earth. Your money will change drastically. There is a great fight happening. Everything that you are witnessing right now on this planet is about money. It is a gold war. It may take a few decades to ease in this digital, but the digital is taking place right now. But watch for a new form of currency to take place. I am not just talking about crypto. I am talking about a new form of digital, which will not all be connected with the system as you know. Many will make lots of money from this. It has a blue sign, a round blue sign. Watch for it coming. And it does not have to be so hard, where many could do this. Your world will go dark. The lights will go. Again, there is always a good side to this, not always bad. Prepare for change. Prepare for change on your planet. It's fading out. Wait a minute. Everything is frequency. Everything is energy. We have to heal. You have to heal within. When the lights go out, it will not be for long. But again, remember my words. Great change will come from this. Great change will happen. When you had Thomas Jefferson with the light bulb, you are now going to go into the next quantum energy, what is about to take place on your planet. When the cyber attacks take place, as they will say, but it will be not, they will say it is. It is then the time to bring in the new quantum energy. You will have a new internet, new communication. I am going to say something now. There is many synths on your planet. there is many robots are here now. And artificial intelligence, as they say, is not what you think it is. It has a being. They imply this. They put this in. It will change. And when it changes and it all comes out, humanity will have more choice, more freedom, more rights. Sometimes you have to let the enemy go too far, and this will go across the board with many different events that is taking place on your planet. That when the light bulb was invented, it was a great change for humanity. When antibiotics was invented, it was a great change for humanity. The 10th will bring great change in the next revelation on your planet. Do not be afraid. You will not lose your homes, what has been said. Take no notice. But we will face dark times of fear. We will face dark times of worry. But the sunshine will be there. There is a great acceptance what has to take place on your planet. And it's about knowing that we are all the same. I'm talking about your brothers and sisters, what are sharing the planet with you. When some people are getting triggered and hatred with venom, they are not just getting hatred and venom from their own minds. They are clearing away ancestral roots because they are unhealed and they are trying to heal. Try to not get triggered. Try to be around like-minded people. But in the world that is to come, there will be many rights. And this is part of human evolution for your civilization as a Homo sapien, to then ever accept my fellow friends, my families onto your planet. There is no racism where we came from. There is no divide. But we did go through this. And some of you may have gone through this with me. As I say that, some of you are reincarnated from past lives. There is a walnut, a great walnut, and within this walnut there is a heart, a beautiful heart. And this is Gaia. She is ascending into the next stage of evolution. And she wants you to transcend with her. Expect the change. Where there is bad, there is always good. There is always two sides to the penny. When the rain falls hard, the water will floods, great floods will take place across your planet. This system will go down. It will be replaced with the new technology. Many will be afraid. There is always teething problems. And then things will be exposed about what they have been doing to humanity. Many have tried throughout history, in your history, to come out with this. One of them has been Edward Snowden. It has to come out to heal. You have to go through a process. But for your children's future, there is light. There is great technology. And there is great light. Get in there and putting the implements into place to stop the dark side to artificial intelligence will be a problem, but the ending is light. It is part of your evolution. I must go now. Until the next time, my friends, this is Zatchar. Namaste.
Eh, God. I'm going to refresh my chat here, 2 minutes. Can you hear us? My God. Did you like that? I'm just going to refresh this chat. I'll come back down to earth. Did you like that? I feel whoa. Like whoa. Give us a 5-5 you can hear us. Zatchar. Definitely different, wasn't it? I wasn't expecting that tonight. I'll have to change my thumbnail. I need a minute. So, give us 5. I need to go and make a cuppa. I want you to go and make your cuppas. Get your popcorn. Isn't he cute? He's cute, isn't he? He's not very big, you know. Oh, I'm so sorry, Silky. I hope your cat's okay. Silky's cat's poorly in the audience. Let's send healing to him. What's your cat called? I'll send a healing prayers. There's some people in this audience who've had sessions of us, and Zatchar comes through as the face connection. I channeled him. You're going to laugh at this. I'll quickly tell you this before I go. My ex-girlfriend, Nikki, it was at a weekend, and she had raging toothache, and she was in here, and she was like nearly banging her head against the wall. And I just felt compelled to, thought I was going to do Reiki on her. So I was just sitting in the chair, and I was like doing this, and then all of a sudden I like went into this trance, and I seen him. I got such a shock. And he says, I'll do the dentistry on him. On her. And I says, Nikki, you're not going to believe this, but I've got an extraterrestrial coming through who wants to do a root canal treatment on you or something. She says, I couldn't give a fuck who it is, just get rid of the pain. Right, okay. So just sit there, and I was doing all this, right? And I could feel him coming through. And I seen him in like this futuristic dental surgery, and the other beings coming in with the long necks and that. Insecticides, quite scary, but like they were coming through, doing all this work, and she said she could feel like this tingling through my fingertips. Then the pain went, and it relieved her. Then she went to the dentist on the Monday, it completely went, and the dentist said, who did your root canal? It's perfect. And she couldn't tell him. Oh, it was like my girlfriend was like worked with an extraterrestrial because she was too scared to sound like she was loopy. It went. Our truth was healed. So ever since then, I've been working with him. He's been caught on camera. My auntie came a few years back. It was when I had the dogs, and I was holding the dog, and it was dark, and she took the photograph like on her phone, and she went back. She says, "You wouldn't believe this. There's a being standing behind you in the garden." It was Zatchar coming through the window. And then he followed us to a house party. I've talked about this before. I was in this lovely posh bungalow. It was young ladies got us out in their early 20s, and they were having some sort of birthday bash. And where I was situated, situated in the kitchen dining room, and I was in a conservatory at the back of us, looking out onto woodlands, like trees at the back garden. And they were coming in one by one, and this girl came in and sat down. It was dark, and I was sitting there doing the reading, and she went and looked, and I turned around, and he was looking through the window. I said, "Oh, don't worry, it's just Zatchar." And she screamed, "Alien!" And she went running through, and I had all these screaming young women in this bungalow, and I couldn't calm them down. And so he's actually come through in physical form a few times. But I work with him all the time, and I believe I've had a past life with him. So yeah, there's just loads I can tell you about Zatchar. He's the most extraordinary, I call him like a little chap. He's extremely intelligent, and just works on this quantum energy where I just remove things from people and heal people. And so yeah, one of many guides I work with. Oh yeah, hiya Tanya. So anyway, give us 5 minutes. I'm going to put on Betty and Bobby, because I can't be thingied for that, because it's I made it. Because you've got to be careful what you're putting on. So I made this, so they can't demonetize us for taking anybody else's work. So I'm going to put it on, and I'll be back soon. And then it looks like everybody needs healing, because there's a lot of worry going on. So give us a few minutes and I'll be back, all right? And hopefully I won't lose my viewers. I've got 908 on both forums, so I'll not be long, all right? Okay, give us a 5-5 if you can hear us. Yeah, that's good. Cheers. And Merry Christmas. I hope you've all had a Merry Christmas. God, I've needed that. It's decaf. I'm on decaf, by the way, guys. Yo, face is soaking. It keeps going into the underneath the tap where it drips. What you like? Come here. Come and say hello. Come and say hello. That's good. I can feel your energies through the computer. I can feel like you're all needing healing and answers to what the hell. It's like life's getting so hard, isn't it? It's getting worse and worse. And I strongly recommend you can get some good stuff out on YouTube, like base chakra, if you like healing, or try the different chakra tones when you're going to sleep at night time. Try to eat little and often. Try to eat as clean as you can. Try to get some fresh air every day, and try to practice the law of attraction. Oh, she's full of curiosity. They're going in for their little operations beginning of January. So I will need healing and protection for them when they go in. I'll let you know just before they go in. God bless them. Apparently they come out with little baby grows on because they're going to get spayed. I want them spayed just in case, you know what I mean? Just to protect them. I don't want any more kittens, you know what I mean, from them, because they're just so playful and babyfied, But they're so funny, and they brought a lot of love into the house. I was always into dogs. When I first opened this channel, I had my 2 Jack Russells, God love them, who were 19 and 20 when they passed in the lockdown. It was horrific, as well as my brother, so you can imagine, because not even mediums are immune to grief, and dogs are beautiful, dogs are very loyal, they're man's best friend. But with my lifestyle, I just thought I'll try cats this time. And to be fair, they're like 2 little dogs running around. They play fetch. I'm going to be clicker training them soon. But they're very intelligent. And from the moment I got them at 9.5, 10 weeks. They went straight into the litter tray. I would strongly recommend, if you want a pet and you haven't got time for a dog, try a cat. Because they're really clean, So I've had no mess off them. They've been really good. Maybe it's once or twice when I haven't cleaned the litter tray out, because they're very clean cats, so they've got to go into a clean loo every day. And then I just clean it out once a week, You got like a poop scoop thing. But they're really intelligent and low maintenance. But you've got to keep play with them and that, you know what I mean? To keep them entertained and that. But I've totally transformed my house as well, because with Nola being a Bengal, she's a climber, because she's like super cat. She can dive from the top of the landing to the ground floor, just and land on her feet. So I've got like climbing things up on the wall for them. You can get something, I'm not sure if it's called Click Cat or something like that. And it's from Japan, because they love their cats over there. But it was quite expensive. So I found this Swedish firm, which was made with timber, wood, and it come flat packed, and you just put it together. You either need to be good, or in my case, I had to get a joiner, Stewie, my joiner. And I paid him to put it together, and I've got it fixed on the wall, and it's just beautiful. It's all wood, and it's just housing and ladders going all the way up the wall, so they can go right up to the top of the ceiling. And every Saturday night, guys, you'll laugh, because my television blew up two weeks before Christmas, as well. It literally blew up. I'm not a one for watching television, but I do watch documentaries. I like my UFO documentaries, and but I put Animal Planet on every Saturday night for them. And they sit on the wall and they watch the television, and they know it's Saturday night. Yeah, a cat tree house on literally up my walls. So they love it. And they like watching the Discovery Channel or chasing the Yeti, or they were watching bears last night, the Great Bear in Alaska. They like things like that, you know what I mean? And they go up to the television and they touch it with their paw. They're really intelligent. Johnny in Twitch, I had a lovely experience today at the laundrette. I met up with a mum and grandmother with a bunch of little ones, and after sitting and talking with the grandmother, the mother's autistic son came up and hugged me, so I hugged him back. Oh, that's lovely. Then he came back up again and he said he gave me a kiss on the cheek. I guess he was about 9 or so. This, what does it say? Very autistic or very loving. Yes, definitely. This came right after I was telling a friend I was okay letting go of an idea of being a parent. Children are so gifted, and like I say, spirit moves in mysterious ways. A bit like what Zatchar was saying, that it can come through everybody. I haven't had a Christmas tree this year. I've got a tiny little thing about that big. And they've tried to destroy that, to be fair. I'll probably try one next year when they're older. But they're just into climbing and everything at the minute. Zizi's not so bad as climbing as Nala. Nala is the great climber. But she's trying to get out because she's been in season. And I've got 2 tomcats. I've got TC. I don't know what the other cat's called. And they're trying to get into the house. And they're not getting in. And they scream. Well, she screams. She's flirting with him through the window. And she's not going to get a boyfriend. I've told her she's not going to get a boyfriend. So, yeah. So that's what they've been up to. Now, leave the microphone alone. Oh, that's a nice drink. She's the sound engineer, yeah, Cobra. Yeah, that was funny that night, wasn't it? Adam's quiet tonight, isn't he? So, where do we start? Do you just want to start asking us questions? And then we'll do a nice healing prayer to shut everything down. Zizi, do you think we should answer some questions and get the cards? Yeah? I think that would be nice for people, wouldn't it? Can you hear her purring, guys? I've been really busy, Johnny. I've had a nice time with family. We've had a tea party this afternoon. It was really nice. I went over to my mother's and my lovely nephew came, Paul's son, who sings on the guitar like his dad did. And they actually got me an amazing gift. I'll show you it. Just 2 minutes. He went, Auntie Louise. I says, yes, my darling. He says, I got you that for psychic protection. Isn't that lovely? And he came over with his fiancée, Rain, and yeah, it was nice. Adam came with us. The little one didn't come with her mummy because the little one's poorly. She's got a very bad cold. But I seen her this morning. She came over and I gave her some more presents. But she's not well, so they stayed at home. But no doubt I'll be seeing her through the week when she's better. And it was just nice, you know what I mean? My oldest son was there, both my sons, and it was just nice, you know. My mother made a trifle. She always makes a trifle on a Boxing Day and that, you know. But it was just nice, and my dad was there as well, because my mum and dad are divorced, but they're still friends, which is nice. So he came over. He fell asleep in the chair, bless him. Because he's getting on now, my dad. He's in his 80s, you know.
he's just announced that he wants to write another book. Bless him. But because the first book was called The Truth, what my mother wrote for him, but it was my dad's words. So you can get that out. It's at Amazon, The Truth by Heather Jones, if anybody doesn't know. And it's about the Holy Grail and all of that. But my dad's an ex-military, and he served in the Cold War, and he wants to talk about stuff. He wants to talk about ET stuff and all of that. So you never know. I'll let you know if he's going to do another book. But he also lived in Inverness, and he travelled around the islands up there, the Isles and the Lochs. And he was thinking of putting a book together about Scotland as well. So I'm going to answer Debbie's question here first. I'm starting a new project. Will it be successful? I want to know what Boxing Day is. Before I start, why do they call it Boxing Day? Give me 2 minutes. I want to know why it's called Boxing Day. Listen to this, guys. Boxing Day, hailing from Victorian England, extends beyond the Boxing Sport Association. It's normal when the oh my goodness me, I'm dyslexic. The people boxed surplus items for the less fortunate. Servants laundered for their toil received special boxes filled with treats. So it's a tradition which comes back from old Victorian times. Interesting. But it's also called Stephen's Day. It's the life of Saint Stephen, a Christian deacon in Jerusalem, who was known for his service to the poor and his status as the first Christian martyr, as he was stoned to death. That doesn't sound new, is it? In AD 36. So it's quite a spiritual day. It's like an extension of Christmas Day, isn't it? Here's another version of it. So the Victorians invented Boxing Day. Interesting. It was when Queen Victoria was on the throne. In Victorian times, the wealthy would box up items they no longer needed to give to the poor. So people who couldn't afford Christmas. Isn't it funny how it's twisted now because they have the Boxing Day sales? So what the Luciferians have done is they've twisted it around. So like you've got to spend on Boxing Day. The servants would then head home and use the 26th to spend. So when the servants worked in the big houses and the mansions, they would then spend their own families on that day and share the presents they had just received from the rich. Interesting. And then from then on, it's been made into a bank holiday in England and Wales from 1871. Interesting. But they took it was celebrated from the former British colonies that remains part of the Commonwealth, such as Canada, is that right? Australia, Nigeria, South Africa, Trinidad. Interesting. So you see, you learn something new every day, because I didn't know that. Right, well, Debbie's project on Twitch
Will it be successful for her? Successful. Yes, but it will lead on to something else. Is Debbie still there? So you haven't got to give up. A passion will expand into something, it will lead on to something else. It's like the minute you're a D, you need to get to D, so you need to get to B, C to get to D. So I would say yes, but it's going to morph off into something else. So I hope that's helped there, Debbie. Interesting. Is it a creative passion? Is it a creative passion? Because you feel you've been so restricted for so long. And it's the universe telling you that you should be doing this. Tonight is a full moon, yes. It's a full moon in Cancer, I believe, isn't it? So you're using the child within you with your creative skills. And I would say yes, go for it. Yes. Biddy boy in Twitch. Will the UK join the WHO treaty? Will the UK join the WHO treaty? It's already sort of like in there now type of thing. But I feel there's going to be a great change. And the WHO's not going to be around for much longer, and then something's going to change, and then it'll go into something else. Like Zatchar was saying, there's going to be a mess before it cleans up. You know, it's going to get worse before it gets better. So I want to say yes, but then it's going to change. So the WHO's not going to be around for much longer. It's going to morph into something else. It's going to have another label. But then from that label, there's going to be good guys going to come in, type of thing into it. So does that sort of answer anything for you? It has to go so far to expose things to then to change. Well, they're sort of already in it now. That's what I'm saying, even though they might not have labelled it. But I get that there's great change to take place. It's like lies and deceit there. Lies and deceit, and things are being sneaked in behind our back. But then we've got the new beginnings coming in. So I would say they will announce something about it, possibly this year 24. But then it's going to change. There's going to be an ending. We've got the close card. There's like the Grim Reaper. And he's trying to get to the innocent child, which is on the hill there. And we've got the white owl above, like the Harry Potter owl. So the dark agenda will not work. It'll backfire. So if it's announced, it'll be okay because it'll backfire. Right? There's the Master card, which is coming in for Earth. All right, so I hope that's helped there. Julius Sparkle in YouTube. Will the military be involved, Louise, for the change? Now that depends, but let's have a look, because it depends on many different factors. I'm not so sure. If there is military, I want to say yes or no, because I feel there's going to be military on the streets for another situation. Don't forget as well that there's a frequency out there
where they trigger people to riot and stuff like that, like a weaponry thing. If it is, it's not the UK. If there is military on the streets, it's for that situation. It's not the UK. It doesn't mean it won't happen anywhere else. But there will be military on the streets for a separate situation in the UK as well as beyond. So I want to say the military on the streets has got something to do with something completely different. Steph K, will the UK have a general election? If yes, when? Will the UK have a general election? We will have a general election. Do you mean like soon? They're trying to avoid that, aren't they? Because they like to do it amongst themselves, don't they? They like to do their own rules and regulations amongst themselves without asking the people, really. There is great change to take place in the UK. And I feel Rishi Sunak will leave and they'll be replaced by another Tory possibly, before there is going to be voting. All right. When is the next election is going to be at more or less the same time, isn't it, as the US election? So I want to say that there will be voting to take place, but I don't know if it's for Rishi Sunak and it's something completely different. But I would say the nothing major until the election. Do you know what I mean? It depends on an uprising as well, because if riots get out of hand, there may be, but it's not coming out as a definite. So I hope that's helped. Scandals are to come in Parliament, definitely. Something's gone up really fast there about somebody dying. Can they write it in again about a young man dying? Will there be a banking crisis in 2024? I'm getting a yes before I even turn it over. Yes. Yes. Not all banks, and there's going to be heavy restriction to come in. A lot of rules and regulations that they're planning on putting into the banking system. But many will fall, but not all. So many people are dying, getting killed. Even dogs and cats are here. I know. Right, Walker Haughty asked about his soulmate. I don't get readings, Jeanette. Nobody can read us. I have had them in the past. I've had crazy stuff said to us. There was one lady who could read us and she's passed over. She was called Jean. Will Walker Haughty meet a soulmate? I mean, I get general readings. I've had them. But I've got a lot of psychic friends, so I'll ask them, you know. But I don't really go for readings. If I do ever get anything, it's an astrology report done, and I go Vedic. That seems to do it for me. Because I'm an astrologer, but I'm not a Vedic astrologer. Will Walker Haughty meet his soulmate? You've been very restricted for a long time and you're trying too hard, Walker Haughty. There is a chance meeting of somebody. They should have been in your life by now. You've been stuck in a time warp. I talk about this a lot where, say like if I'd read for you before the lockdown and I said you were going to meet somebody and you couldn't because of the lockdown,
that you were going to go on holiday and meet somebody and you couldn't. If it's meant to be, it's coming back around again. So I'm dealing a lot with people with frozen timelines. There is somebody just around the corner for you here. We've got a 10, we've got an 8. According to this, there could be an opportunity to come your way within the 2, which could be 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. But it's about doing your projects, doing the things that you like to do. It's not always about going into pubs or clubs. You could just meet this person. If say you're doing something you like to do, and then it's changing your destiny path, and it's giving angels that chance to slip somebody in for you. So there is somebody to come in for you. Yeah. Somebody very special. I've got a male here, and I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's because I'm reading you because you're male, or you like men, or what. God, if you don't like men, don't take an insult to this. I've got male upside down. So that's somebody due to come into your life, or that's you changing. Can you give us a confirmation on that? You like women. Right, okay. So is this you then? Is that you sort of upside down at the minute? You're just feeling restricted? And it's you changing. And I get spring. So maybe it's 2 months from now. Have a look. Maybe this woman's going to be strong. I'm not saying like butch strong, but like a strong woman, somebody who can understand you. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's the timing card here. So they should have been in your life by now and they're due to come in. All right. Within the 2. So do the things that you like to do, and it definitely will come in for you. It's when you're doing the things you like to do, angels will bring that right person in for you at the right time. Red Chariot on YouTube. Have I got a curse on me? Oh, it's a pleasure, Wokoholi. So Red Chariot got a curse. Who's the blonde-haired woman? Who's the blonde-haired woman, Red Chariot? You've got attachments from not your energy. Are they there? And sometimes that can feel like curses. My daughter, right, okay. So have you been in a situation in the past with your partner from your daughter, the opposite partner, where there's been a problem? Or somebody around their family? I do feel it's like a past situation from the past. But we've got the Sun card. There's no such thing, like, people do curses. They certainly do. I don't think anyone's sat there and done like a heebie-jeebie thing. Don't forget, life thoughts now can create things like that, like the evil eye and stuff like that. But you are blessed and you are protected, but because you're my mother. So it's a past thing, and it could be a lineage thing, or it could be something what needs to be cut. It's like pain what needs to be cut. Does that make sense? But you're going to be all right. But it's like because you're so ascended and sensitive, you're feeling it. They are really aggressive here. Wow. Oh, that's somebody else saying that. Yeah, it's a woman. It's a woman where there's been some hurt and some pain. And it's something what needs to be healed. So if it's not healed, it can manifest into other situations and it get out of hand. Does that make sense? The giving and letting go, easier said than done. We've got the moon card here. Does that make sense to you? That's good. So we've got the moon card here. I probably be able to tell more if I was reading for you properly, but you can like write things down where people have hurt you. This is for everybody in the audience as well. Write things down on what is bothering you and then burn it. Do it tonight. It's a full moon and it'll release it. Go outside and burn it. Be careful, like, I don't want you setting your bloody apartments alight, you know what I mean? Go in the garden and just write your list and then say, I am now releasing this and sending it away with forgiveness. I'm releasing this. This is not my energy. I cut the negative, karmic, past life codes and burn it in the garden, and it works. Try that. It has been healing a lot, separate myself, and still haunts me. It might be that I might need to like see you for a private consultation if you wanted to like have that looked into more. But you're going to conquer it. It's definitely because the reason I know that is because I've got the Sun card. All right. There's conquer and there's light there for you. It might just be something so simple what needs to be tweaked. All right. So try that. My mum, Bonnie Mitchell, my mum passed in July. Is she at peace? Oh, Bonnie, yes. She didn't want to leave you. I'm going like here with her. Do you have a ring? She's like showing us a ring. And were you like holding her hand at the end, or did you go afterwards? And who's got a bit of her hair? Why is she doing this with her hair? I'm smelling roses. And I'm not sure if I'm getting February or March. February or March is coming in May. And I'm getting the 5th or the 15th. I don't know if that connects. Or it could be the 5th month, May. But your mum, I'm seeing a lady who, I don't know if this is your mum or this is a grandma. And she looks quite slight, or she went slight or thinnish at the end with lightish hair. If that's not your mum, that's a grandma coming in. And I'm getting this feeling about a lovely dressing gown. I don't know if it was her dressing gown or this means something for you. But it looks like a lovely cosy dressing gown, you know, and I don't know if it was something that she used to wear. She was 96, so she was frail. She would have been frail. And did she have like lightish hair, Bonnie? Is it a pink dressing gown or a nice dressing gown? Have you got the dressing gown, Bonnie? What does that mean to you? Or did she like her dressing gown? And her little slippers. You know what, right? One day you'll see her again. It's just like she's in another room. I always say this to people. Your spirit doesn't die. Your body may go to dust, but your spirit doesn't die. And they keep telling us all the time, oh no, there's no such thing as death. There's life after life. But she will show herself and come to you in your dreams if you haven't already. She's your mum, you know. It's something you'll never get over. You learn how to walk through it.
I'm being shown it. I don't know if it's a little necklace or something, and I don't know if it's significant. If she didn't have a necklace, I don't know if it's something what reminds you of her. White hair. You don't know about the dressing gown? She's shown us this dressing gown. Do you wear a dressing gown? I'll leave that one with you. But she's at peace, and she's saying she's with Dad, or she's met up with Dad to sort things out. And it's something about a sister. So I don't know if you've got a sister or she had a sister. Does that mean anything? A fluffy robe, yeah. Sorry, we call them, do you know what it is, Bonnie? We call them dressing gowns over here. You used to call them robes in the US, do you? Yes, a fluffy, yes. Does that make sense to you? Just our English lingo. We call it a dressing gown. I like to get the feedback, do you know what I mean? She's fine. She's absolutely fine. Yeah, like a nightgown. Right, I'm going to answer 2 more questions. You call them house coats, right? Crystal. Louise, will my son have any more kids with his current wife? Let me get a coffee. I'm getting that song, Money, 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 from ABBA. Remember that? Whether that means anything to you. Yeah, she is planning. I do think she would like another one. But there's something about problems with money there, or it's not good. But I think that there possibly could be another baby, yes. Because I've got that there. Crystal. Ace of Cauldrons, which is birth. You're just lying on top of these cards. But I don't know why I'm getting greed and money. I don't know why I'm getting that in conflict. So unless that's something that they've been trying to sort out. Possibly a boy. Unless it's a little tomboy. But darkish to the hair like your granddaughter, Crystal. All right. Possibly a little boy. Which will be nice. You're just coming back in here, aren't you, to have a nip? Calvert, CC Calvert. Hi, Louise. Please could I ask if my brother is okay and does he know about me? I was talking about your brother in spirit. So I've got somebody here in spirit here. Does that make sense to you, Calvert? I've just got to quickly answer this. Leeds 1166. Will my younger son get the job on the water? Yes, 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 big yes. I need Calvert back again. Holy Spirit. You're so protected. And I feel an energy coming in. If this is not your brother in spirit, this is some male coming in for you. And I want to go like here to here, this area here, top part of the body there. So could this make sense to you, Calvert? And I get an N. I don't know, that's coming through with a lady's name. Yes, my name is Claire. Yes, and my name is Claire. So something happened to the top part of them. And I don't know if this was quick. Does that make sense to you, Claire? He never got to say goodbye to you properly. And he passed before his time. Does that make sense? And Lee as well. Who's Lee? Yes? Does that make sense to you, Claire? I like the feedback, right? And it was like he didn't want to go. He didn't want to leave you. There was a letter written, and I don't know if you wrote a note or a letter after he passed, or there was something written. He has come in his dreams to you. He just loves you so much, Claire. What was like the choke and what happened to him, or what happened to the top part of his body? And was he quite fairish to the hair, Claire? Because I see him lightish to the hair, or unless it's just the light coming down on his hair. I'm getting it's got like a little, I'm not sure if it's a teddy bear, or I love it when the children come through, or some cuddly toy in his hand. Yes, yes. And like, I don't know if he's got like a little blankie in his hand. Looks like he's got little shorts on, little shorts. Is it dungarees? Dungarees. Life can be so cruel. And the babies, you know, the children, they go over to the nurseries on the other side, and God's garden's full of them. The angels look after them. You can hear the children laughing and playing with Archangel Michael, football and that, you know. And he's safe. He's safe. He's definitely fine. But what I get is that he's got this like little cuddly toy thing in his hand, and it's something you'll never get over, Claire. You just learn how to walk through. Do you know what I mean? But I'm going to say something to you, Claire. There's a baby to come into the future in your family who will, for you, or a grandchild, if not, you know, it doesn't have to be your child, into the future, or a niece or a nephew, it's a baby to come in, what's going to resemble him. He was always scared of water. His hair looks quite fluffy looking. Like, I don't know if it fluffed up at the back. Just a funny little boy. Had this cute little laugh. But he's definitely fine. And there's a dog coming through with him. I don't know if it's a family dog. Sort of like medium stance, like a bit like a Labrador, but not. A bit smaller, maybe, like a bigger, lightish coloured dog. I don't know if that makes sense to you. And a two-tone dark dog as well. And I'll leave that one with you. Okay, guys. I've got to read this. He died before I was born. My grandson is one on News Day and he was the same name. Okay. It's like he's sent him back in for you in a different form. I would love to sit and answer all your questions all night, guys, but I'm going to have to go. It's really late over here. It's 2:05 in the morning. But I'll be back and we'll do this again. Patricia, I need a house move, Louise. I have jealous people around me. Burn some frankincense and myrrh. And burn a lemon candle tonight if you can, or lemon essential oil, or anoint the candle with lemon and just scroll in what you want on that candle and burn it tonight and it'll come true. It'll shift it. Put also some salt in 4 corners of your house to absorb the negativity, to stop the jealousy, or you can put salt around your house. Lemon essential oil is also good for if you're wanting to sell a house or to move. I hope that's helped, guys. And good night. God bless. Stay safe. And keep faith. And I'll see you again soon. I'm off to get my pajamas on. And I think I'm going to have a hot chocolate. And I'll see you soon. Take care, guys. And may the force be with you all. Good night. Now, how do I get out of here?